no one in a regular mind can really see how that's going to be so beneficial. Generally, as an intelligent person, we would think, what's it going to do for me? It seems so disconnected to my hopes, dreams and ambitions. It seems somehow to be irrelevant or too simple or something. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't equate. It doesn't tally with our imagination. And this is the problem. Now, there's the problem, the thing itself. This is what we have to question, and I think it's a valuable question for any individual who really feels this need. Is it my imagination which is wrong? Is it my mind or my concept of reality and what's powerful and what works and what doesn't? Is it something wrong with me, or is it that? If I think that's odd, and if I think that doesn't really fit, is there something wrong with my calculations, or is there something wrong with that? Now, the question is a fair one. Now, before we jump to the conclusion and say, well, it's that, because I know where it's at. If we really know where it's at, if we were so well set up and clear about what was real and what was relevant, what was powerful and what was not, what was worthy and what was not, why are we in the predicament that we're in now? Why do we feel the way we do in those quiet times? So to be honest about it, we have to admit that I don't really have the handle on what's real and what's relevant and what's powerful and what's worthy. I don't. And here something's being presented in a very powerful, very comprehensive way, stating that this is something very valuable, very powerful. As simple as it seems, it's very sublime. So usually we think of simple things as being ineffectual. That's normal, that's conventional. Conventional is if it's simple, it couldn't be that powerful. Harmless, maybe a little bit interesting, a curiosity, but powerful, internal revolution, deeply transforming, bringing me to that place that I really need to be. It's not a subjective thing. It's a universal thing. Because you see, there is no person who will not, if they apply themselves to it powerfully, achieve powerful internal transformation. Not becoming something else, not piling more senses of identity and more crap on top of what's already there, but just removing all of the stuff, taking it all away and coming up with who you actually are. Self-realization. It's the science of self-realization. And it's that which brings you then to the point of application. Attempt, try it. Go through the initial awkwardness and strangeness, because I definitely did. I was brought up in northern beaches surfing, skateboarding, listening to punk music, and this was not where I planned to go in life. But as I said, I had to admit that I wasn't, none of all that good stuff that I was into. And I'm still into stuff like that now. You see, look at my apartment, you look at my life, it's got a whole lot of stuff going on, and it's still me. But I had to leave that behind for some time to establish some good foundations. It's like I was building up a life with making a building with insecure foundations. So ultimately you come to a point of, I could foresee midlife crisis. It's easy to know how these things happen. And I wasn't about to embark on a course of, career or relationship or life, although these things to a degree did happen. I wasn't committed. I couldn't commit to those things unless I had foundations. I couldn't really put my heart into anything I was doing career-wise or relationship-wise unless I had established, first of all, premise. What am I doing here, first of all? Where did I come from? How did I end up here? I know that I'm here because I'm aware. I know that I exist because, as René Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. So if you're thinking, you know you exist, because you wouldn't be thinking if you didn't exist. So we know we're here. But how? And why? I'm not making me be here. Something is causing me to be here. I'm not talking about the body, I'm not talking about the mind. They're all coming and going and changing all the time. I'm talking about me as a conscious factor, the entity which is aware that I'm here. I know that I'm here, I just don't know how. I don't know where I was before I ended up here, before I become aware that I'm here. And I don't know where I'm going to go afterwards. But this is important to establish. These are my chanting beads, and I sit this morning on the bus. Usually I'll sit here, I'll sit down at the beach, and I'll just take the beads and I chant mantra. And at first, your mind is saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" But it gives way. Eventually, it gives way. The more you take the mind and you change your radio. You can tune into one thing, and if it's just a bunch of crap talking about rubbish, you can just tune into something else. And tune out of that and into something else. And we're like that too. The mind can be saying all sorts of things, but you can make a choice. That right now I'm doing an experiment. Right now, these names, these syllables, I want to tune into them. So you tune out of the chatter, because that's always going on. We've heard that a million times before. And it's not going to stop anytime soon unless we do something about it. We have to reprogram. We have to change our... And there's nothing to lose. So you tune into that sound instead of the other sound. You tune out of that sound and into this sound. And of course, after a little while, your mind sort of imperceptibly has wandered off again. But as soon as you realise that, hopefully not too much later, you take it and again, gently but firmly, tune it back into where it's meant to be. Because the only way to experience the real power, the real what's here to be experienced, is to do it properly. When I first started applying myself to this process, I was reading about it, and intellectually it appealed to me on many levels, although it seemed very strange. I was attracted to it, it seemed almost natural, but completely foreign to me at the same time, which was kind of confusing. And for years, I would come to that point again. I'd be sitting and I'd be looking at it thinking, what are you doing? But then I would take a step back from it and say, well, what could I be doing instead of this now? So I would rationalise with my mind. So if we weren't here, where would we be? What would we be doing? And how happy or satisfied would you be doing that? So it's certainly 2 steps forward, 1 step back, because most of the time it's my reluctance to fully commit, to maintain little attachments to those things which I kind of, they call it sipping water underwater on a fast day. You're supposed to be fasting, and you're not touching anything, you're not drinking anything even, so near a dull fast. But you go to take your bath, and of course, in many parts of the world they bathe in rivers and stuff. And as you go underwater, you get taking a bit of water. It's sneaky, but you're only cheating yourself. So sipping water underwater on a fast day. The process shows you that there's offences and there's ways that you can minimise the power of this process. And one of them is maintaining material attachments, even after understanding so much instruction in that regard. As long as you maintain those attachments, this doesn't serve my interests, it's just habit. Yeah. So your computer will operate the way you've programmed it to operate. Your mind will continue to try to operate the way you've always programmed it. It takes some powerful determination. And of course when you do, when you get, you just want to tell the mind, just shut up. We're not going to. And you get determined. And it's just this, just that. And the experiences that you have when you get really, really focused is euphoric, phenomenal. Never experience any taste, any sensation, any feeling, any type of relationship than more powerful, more fulfilling than that. And that's perfectly honest expression from me. I've got nothing to gain by saying such things. And it's not just philosophy, it's not just dry, it's not just about rules and processes and things, it's about a powerful, powerful love and emotion, which is what we want. Everybody wants to love and be loved. That's essentially what we're after. That's the fulfillment of our deepest needs. And in an original state, we're fully existing in that reality. And this process allows us to reconnect with that reality.